next day now after the previous video. We've gone and moved the irrigator this morning at 8 o'clock. That's when it come in, because we set the irrigator back off after I finished that video, after combining last night at about 10:30. So now we're just moving to the other field. We've filled it with fuel, we've greased up, Dad's climbing down the combine, and now we're just moving up, going through, well, going to be going through to the other field, just the other side of Whittlesey. It's not the best day for cutting barley. It's cloudy and apparently it's going to rain. Well, who knows, but apparently it's going to rain any minute. But look at that sky over there. That screams rain. But who knows. I'm at the annoying bit in the shed now, where when I back in, the trailer's right near the roller door and I can't lift the trailer right up, so I have to keep going out, lifting it up, backing back in, and yeah, it's all time. It's all time. That's the worst thing about that shed. But there we go. We're cracking on. We might get rained off in a minute. So we are getting on quite nicely. I think he's nearly done that field, but it has been spitting a rain every now and again. Don't know what the moisture is. I imagine it's sort of 12%. Even with that rain, there weren't a lot of rain. It was just spitting about really. But this field's making a better sample for some reason, I don't know. But it seems a lot heavier from this field as well. That might just be me. We're filling her up. I'm just at the annoying, this is the annoying bit. I explained it last year, but for those that are new subscribers, you haven't seen this shed before. Once I get to about there, the trailer, when I tip it up, you got to watch the door. It'd be ideal if the door was further back, but we had to put it there because the grain dryer's there. You know, you can't win, you can't win. But I can't grumble anyway, it's a nice shed. Just need a lean-to on this side going out towards the field for a bit more room. But we're getting there, we're getting there. For those of you who are unaware of the prices, barley was in sort of the 300s at one point, 315 I think the tops was, or 325, something like that. It's now dropped back down, it's dropped 100 tonne, it's near enough 215 tonne, 215 pound a tonne. 100 pound a tonne it's dropped. Don't ask me why, I don't know, but we sold a little bit forward, only a little bit. I wish we'd sold more forward, but you know, you can't gamble, we don't know what we're going to get at the end of it. And that's just farming. If we wouldn't go into Las Vegas and put 40 grand down on betting chips, it's literally like doing that. That's how I explain it to people. It's like going to Las Vegas and just going all in. You never know. Dad's sort of kicking himself because he was on about selling the oilseed rape forward. Now it's dropped down, I think 150 pound a tonne or more than that. I think it's actually dropped 300 pound a tonne. I think it's down to 500 and some odd when it was like 800 and some odd. So we haven't sold any forward because you never know what you're going to get with oilseed rape. It's a bit funny. Plus we had a bit of pigeon damage, so you never know what you're going to get. But yeah, going to Las Vegas and going all in, that's how I explain farming to people. Now then, a very good morning to you. It's the next day. We got that field done, which was good. We got all moved back to the yard, and we got 2 trailer loads to empty full of barley this morning. I think we got 5 or 6. I think we got 6 trailer load off that field, which was pretty good. She's sort of yielding 2.5, in between 2.5 and 3 tonne an acre, which is all right for how dry it's been and that type of land. The field over at farm 2 should have done better really, because that's on black land, but you know, we can only have what's there. So yeah, we set the irrigator back off. Well, we got done at about 8 o'clock, and then we set the irrigator back off at 10 o'clock last night. And she's just coming in now. So I'm just going to go and check how far it's got left on the reel, and then might have time to unload them 2 trailers, and then that's the winter barley done. Flags flying today. Let's go baling. So this morning we emptied the 2 trailer load of barley. That's gone in the shed, so we've got all the winter barley in the shed now. Dad's phoned up for them ready to come and take a sample. Frontiers come and take a sample and to come and pick it up. Then the irrigator was coming in, so we folded that all up, moved that and put that in the other field ready for later. We started about 9-10 o'clock at night, and now we're off baling some winter barley straw. So it is 4:45 in the morning. I started at about 3:30. If you're wondering what happened yesterday, yeah, that might be a story for another day. house yesterday at about 12 o'clock, and I was going first time round the field. It weren't picking it up right, weren't picking the straw up right, and then it bunged up for some reason. I bunged the feeder up, and then we released the drop floor. Bear with me, I'm concentrating. We released the drop floor, and then I couldn't start it. I got out to unbung it, opened all the guards, really at this point really cheesed off with it, and then I had no controls on the screen. I had absolutely nothing. Looked at the manual, trying to figure out what was the matter with it, because all it said on the screen was can. That's all it said, with an exclamation mark. Called Pegs out. He was out here an hour looking around different things. We hot wired it through a bit of wire that he used, and it started running, and then all of a sudden he goes, oh, you flick the isolator switch on the baler. There's an isolator switch on the back of the baler. I must have clicked. Like my net wrap's empty. I've changed the net wrap over on a new roll, but like I was saying, I'm baling early in the morning because the straw's that dead and that dry, it slips on the roller in the baler, and then I bung up, which was the reason why I bunged up yesterday. So, got a bit of dampness to it, which is letting it bite on the roller, which is actually letting me bail. So if you didn't know that, that is why you see the balers out at night or in the morning, especially round balers, because it just bails that little bit better. But because for the time that I get a bail and get the net wrap turning, the bail in there is going around the chamber, putting the net wrap on, it builds up chaff either side, and every time I release the tailgate to open the baler, 2 bits of chaff come out, so it looks like, you know, looks like I made a dodgy bail sometimes, but just 2 bits of chaff falling out because of the amount of time that's been in the baler. But we shall go over this with the straw chopper, just blitz it up. But it's picking it up a lot better. It's picking it up a lot better. So the GoPro died, but needless to say, the field's done. 97 bales, ain't too bad. Bit disappointed in how it kicked out a bit of chaff every time I lifted the tailgate up, but anyway, needless to say, it's a learning curve.